Floor general. Chris Paul has spent his career making sharp passes, breaking down defenses, and turning good teams into great ones. Whether in New Orleans, Los Angeles, Houston, or Phoenix, he's been the one setting the tone and keeping everything running smoothly. That's the mark of a floor general, the leader with the ball in their hands, making sure the team runs like a well-oiled machine. They set up plays, tell teammates where to go, and always know the right move to make. They can read the defense before it even reacts, finding open teammates for easy baskets. They control the speed of the game, speeding it up when needed, or slowing it down to stay in control. Scoring isn't their main goal, but they can still get points if the team needs them. Their focus is on smart passes, few mistakes, and keeping everyone involved. They're basically the coach on the court, keeping the team calm and on track. Scoring guard. Damian Lillard is known for launching deep threes, blowing past defenders, and being a constant scoring threat. One hot streak from him can completely shift the energy of the game. That's the essence of a scoring guard. This guard's main job is to get buckets. They're not out there to pass the ball. They're hunting points from the moment the game starts. They can drive past defenders, pull up for a jumper, or drain a three without hesitation. Pick and roll? That's their playground for getting open shots. If there's a mismatch, they attack it. If the defense is slow, they make it pay. They've got tight ball handling, a smooth shot from anywhere on the floor, and the toughness to finish at the rim, even with contact. Scoring guards can flip the game in minutes with a hot streak, but they still have to know when to share the ball so the team stays in rhythm. 3-and-D Klay Thompson can switch seamlessly between hitting threes from the corner and locking down the opposing guard. With him on the court, the team gets both floor spacing and elite perimeter defense in one package. That describes a 3-and-D player. Someone whose main jobs are to hit threes and lock people up on defense. On offense, they stay ready at the corners or wings, waiting for that pass so they can fire a clean shot from deep. They don't need to dribble much or create their own shot. Their value is in stretching the floor so teammates have more space to attack. On defense, they're the ones chasing the other team's best scorer around, using quick feet, smart positioning, and good timing to make every shot tough. They know how to guard one-on-one, switch when needed, and fit perfectly into the team's defensive plan. Slasher. Dwyane Wade's fearless drives, acrobatic finishes, and ability to show up in the biggest moments defined his career. He didn't just attack the rim, he made it his signature, turning every lane into a highlight reel. That's a slasher, the guard who's always in attack mode, charging straight at the rim. They've got that lightning first step that leaves defenders in the dust, plus the moves, crossovers, hesitations, spins to break through any gap in the defense. Once they're inside, they can finish through contact, hang in the air, and still get the ball to drop. They're also great at drawing fouls, turning aggression into free points at the line. On defense, they love to turn steals into fast breaks, punishing the other team before it can set up. To stay dangerous, they need a solid mid-range shot so defenders can't just pack the paint against them. Two-way wing. Kawhi Leonard's quiet demeanor masks a game that does all the talking. He can lock up your best scorer on one end, then calmly drain the shot that puts his team ahead on the other. That's the definition of a two-way wing, an all-around threat who can hurt you on offense and shut you down on defense. They can shoot from deep, slash to the rim, or post up smaller defenders without breaking a sweat. On defense, they're a nightmare matchup because they can guard almost anyone, quick enough for point guards, strong enough for big men. They thrive in switching defenses, jumping from one matchup to another without losing a step. They space the floor, keep the ball moving, and punish mismatches, all while making life miserable for whoever they're guarding. Constant movement, constant effort, no hiding on either end. Sharpshooter. Ray Allen wasn't just a shooter. He was a moving target with perfect form. He weaved through screens, popped out to the corner, and hit dagger threes with unerring precision. A sharpshooter player you can't leave alone for even a second. Their job is simple: space the floor and make you pay from deep. They live for catch-and-shoot moments, running off screens, curling into open spots, and firing before the defense can react. Their range forces defenders to chase them everywhere, which opens lanes for everyone else. Accuracy is their currency, and they've got to keep that three-point percentage high to stay deadly. On defense, they hold their ground, but it's the offensive gravity that makes them so valuable. Stretch 4. Few big men have combined height with a shooter's touch like Dirk Nowitzki. Standing 7 feet tall, he drained threes, nailed his signature fadeaway, and pulled opposing bigs into uncomfortable spots on the floor. That's the hallmark of a stretch 4, a forward who doesn't just camp in the paint, but steps beyond the arc, forcing defenders to chase them. That pulls shot blockers away from the rim, giving guards a clear runway and centers room to work inside. They hang out on the wings or in the corners, ready to catch and shoot, or put the ball on the floor if a slow defender rushes out. They've still got to rebound and battle inside when needed, but their real weapon is spacing the floor and making defenses uncomfortable. On defense, they have to handle both bruisers in the post and quicker guys on the perimeter, so versatility is a must. Post scorer. Shaquille O'Neal was the ultimate post nightmare. Too big to push around and too skilled to foul. Once he got position, it was over. He didn't just score in the post, he dominated it. A post scorer is a classic bruiser who positions himself close to the hoop and challenges defenders to push him away. They work with their back to the basket, using muscle, sharp footwork, and soft hands to get easy points inside. Drop steps, hook shots, up and unders. They've got a bag full of moves to keep defenders guessing. Draw a double team on them, and suddenly, teammates are wide open on the perimeter. They're also glass cleaners, grabbing boards, and turning misses into putbacks. On defense, they're all about protecting the paint, boxing out, and making sure nothing easy happens around the rim. Rim protector. Rudy Gobert is the modern standard for interior defense. With long arms, perfect timing, and an uncanny ability to control the paint, he doesn't just block shots, he changes how teams approach the basket. That's the spirit of a rim protector. The last line of defense, the wall standing between opponents, and easy buckets. Step into the paint, and suddenly, that layup doesn't look so safe. Rim protectors live for blocking shots, changing angles, and making opponents think twice about driving inside. They play smart, going straight up to contest without fouling, and they're the loud voices calling out screens, switches, and rotations to keep the defense sharp. On offense, they set hard screens, dive to the hoop for lobs, and clean up misses with putbacks. Rebounding is part of the job too. Get the board, and the break is on. Post anchor. Hakeem Olajuwon made the post his playground. His footwork was a masterclass, and the dream shake could leave even elite defenders spinning the wrong way. Strength, skill, and touch, he had it all. This defines a post anchor as the central figure. The player positioned in the paint, who serves as the foundation around which others are built. They win battles with pure strength, smart positioning, and a set of go-to post moves like drop steps, jump hooks, and fadeaways. Give them a deep position near the basket, and it's almost automatic points. On defense, they muscle up against other bigs, protect the rim, and own the boards. Their style can slow the game down, as possessions often run through them in the half court. Since they live near the rim, they work best when surrounded by shooters who keep the lane open. Pick and roll specialist. Amari Stoudemire turned the pick and roll into a highlight factory. With Steve Nash feeding him perfect passes, he'd explode to the rim for dunks that could instantly shift momentum. That's the core of a pick and roll specialist, who sets strong screens to free up their guards, then rolls into open space for easy buckets. Sometimes they roll hard to the rim for a dunk, other times they pop out for a jumper if they've got the range. The magic is in the timing. Too early, and the lane's clogged. Too late, and the moment's gone. On defense, they've got to be quick on their feet, switching onto guards when needed, and still getting back to protect the paint. None of it works without chemistry with the ball handler. When they click, it's almost unstoppable. Stretch 5. Brook Lopez has mastered the art of keeping defenses guessing. One trip down the court, he's swatting shots in the paint. The next, he's burying a three from well beyond the arc. That's the role of a stretch five. They can bomb threes and change the geometry of the game. Instead of camping under the rim, this center drifts out to the arc, dragging their defender with them and clearing the lane for drives and cuts. They've got to hit from deep with confidence, think fast with the ball, and punish slow-footed bigs who close out too late. But they're still a center, which means rebounding, rim protection, and interior defense are still on the checklist. The real trick, balancing outside shooting with muscle work inside, makes them a threat everywhere. Combo guard. Jamal Crawford brought a smoothness to the game that made switching roles look effortless. He could run the point when needed, but if the team wanted instant offense, he'd dance with the ball, pull up, and drop buckets in bunches. A combo guard is characterized by being both a floor general and a scorer, seamlessly shifting between directing the offense and hunting for their own shot without missing a beat. They've got the handles to break down defenders, the vision to set up teammates, and the skill to score from anywhere. One night, they're the playmaker. The next, they're the go-to scorer, whatever the game calls for. Defensively, they've got to stay quick and alert, guarding both smaller point guards and stronger shooting guards. The challenge is balance, run the offense without dribbling the air out of the ball, and stay active when playing off it. Defensive expert. Tony Allen built his reputation on making life miserable for scorers. He didn't care about racking up points. His mission was to lock you down so hard that by the fourth quarter, you didn't even want the ball. A defensive expert's role is to be the persistent shadow, sticking to the other team's top scorer from the very start. They live for getting stops, poking the ball loose, and making life miserable for anyone trying to score. Quick feet, active hands, and sharp positioning are their weapons. They know the defensive playbook inside out, switching, trapping, and rotating without missing a beat. Scoring isn't their main job, but they stay useful on offense with simple cuts, spot-up shots, and ball movement. Their real impact shows up in the other team's stat sheet: fewer points, tougher shots, and frustrated stars. Playmaking forward. LeBron James combines the size of a power forward, the agility of a guard, and the playmaking ability of a point guard. Whether delivering a full-court assist or making a no-look pass from the post, he has been manipulating defenses for 20 years. This exemplifies the role of a playmaking forward, a player who leverages size to see over opponents and uses precise passing to create scoring opportunities for teammates. They can work from the high post, low post, or even bring the ball up like a guard. If there's a mismatch, they'll either score themselves or pick out the open man. On defense, they guard multiple positions and use their awareness to jump passing lanes and start fast breaks. The key is making smart reads and avoiding turnovers while carrying that much responsibility. Energy player. Dennis Rodman made a career out of pure chaos, effort, and impact. He wasn't there to score 30 points. He was there to outwork you, out-rebound you, and get under your skin until you lost focus. An energy player is essentially the spark plug who shifts the game on their own, without requiring plays to be called for them. They're diving for loose balls, crashing the glass, and turning hustle into points. Offensively, they thrive on putbacks, quick cuts, and fast breaks. Defensively, they're everywhere, contesting shots, chasing down blocks, and pestering ball handlers until mistakes happen. They might not have a deep bag of skills, but their non-stop motor can flip the momentum of a game in minutes. ISO scorer. Michael Jordan could score on anyone, in any situation. Whether posting up, pulling up in the mid-range, or attacking the rim, he turned crunch time into MJ time, burying opponents with cold-blooded jumpers or unstoppable drives. That's what makes an ISO scorer special. Pass them the ball, make space, and watch them work their magic. One-on-one is their playground, with crossovers, hesitation, step-backs, and whatever else it takes to get space. They can score from anywhere, finish at the rim, hit the mid-range pull-up, or drain a deep three. Coaches call their number when the clock is ticking down or when the game's on the line. To pull it off, they need tight handles, sharp footwork, and the vision to read a defender's every move. Sure, isolation can slow the offense, but when plays break down, this is the player you trust to make something happen. Post playmaker. Nikola Jokic has turned the post into a playmaking command center. One moment he's backing down an opponent, the next he's whipping a no-look pass across the court right into a shooter's hands. A post playmaker is the big man who directs the offense from the block. Instead of just backing down and scoring, they're scanning the floor for cutters, open shooters, or a teammate slipping to the hoop. Draw a double team on them, and they'll punish it with a perfect pass. They read defenses like a point guard, anticipating rotations and finding the best angle before the window closes. In the right system, with constant off-ball movement, they become the hub that keeps everything flowing. Defensively, they're still protecting the rim and cleaning the glass, but their real magic happens when the ball is in their hands in the post. Glue guy. Draymond Green might not score 25 a night, but he defends every position, directs the offense, and keeps his team's energy and focus locked in. He's the piece that makes the machine run smoothly. A glue guy is someone who keeps the whole group steady. They're not the spotlight, but without them, the entire structure could collapse. Glue guys fill in every gap, guarding whoever needs guarding, making the extra pass, setting the screen that frees up a shooter, or rotating on defense before anyone else sees the danger. They adjust their role on the fly, doing whatever the team needs in that moment. You won't always see their name in the headlines, but you'll feel their absence if they're not out there. High IQ, unselfish play, and adaptability are their trademarks. Transition finisher. Giannis Antetokounmpo can grab a defensive rebound on one end and in just a few steps throw down a thunderous dunk on the other. That's the signature of a transition finisher, a player who thrives in the chaos of fast breaks, using speed and perfect timing to beat defenders down the floor. They sprint the lanes, catch outlet passes in stride, and turn stops into instant points. Their bread and butter are high-percentage looks, layups, dunks, and easy buckets before the defense sets. The best ones also know how to space properly, clearing lanes for ball handlers to attack. And while they're built for speed, they have to master control too, finishing cleanly instead of letting the adrenaline cause missed chances. Stretch wing. Michael Porter Jr.'s size, shooting touch, and off-ball positioning make him a constant threat from deep. This is a stretch wing, a sharpshooting guard or forward who stays on the perimeter, challenging defenders to leave them open. A clean catch-and-shoot three is their specialty, but when defenders fly out to contest, they can put the ball on the floor and punish the closeout. Their spacing opens precious driving lanes for ball handlers and frees up post players to operate without a crowd in the paint. Defensively, they're matched up with similar-sized wings, using length and lateral quickness to challenge shots and disrupt passing lanes. The mission is simple: keep the defense stretched thin by knocking down perimeter looks. Lockdown defender. Jrue Holiday's relentless defense has frustrated some of the NBA's best guards on the biggest stages. That's what really makes a lockdown defender special. They guard the other team's star, turning every shot, dribble, and cut into a challenge worth rising to. It's all about their dedication and the energy they bring to the game. These defensive specialists combine elite lateral quickness, disciplined footwork, and masterful positioning to stay glued to their assignment. They rarely bite on fakes, contest shots without fouling, and use their hands just enough to disrupt without drawing whistles. Preparation is key. They study opponents' tendencies, memorize favorite spots, and anticipate moves before they happen. In switching schemes, they can guard multiple positions with equal intensity. Offense may not be their calling card, but their ability to shut down a top scorer can swing an entire series. Facilitating big. Domantas Sabonis regularly racks up assists while anchoring Sacramento's offense. This constitutes the blueprint for a facilitating big, a tall player, typically a center or power forward, who possesses equal proficiency in passing the ball and scoring internally. Instead of only playing near the basket, they often run plays from the top of the key, the elbows, or the high post. They read the defense, spot open teammates, and deliver quick, accurate passes to cutters, shooters, or other post players. This makes them a key part of offenses that rely on constant ball movement, like motion or Princeton-style systems. They still do all the usual big man jobs, protecting the rim, grabbing rebounds, and setting screens. But their court vision sets them apart. Shot creator. Devin Booker can operate from anywhere on the floor, weaving through defenders, hitting contested mid-range jumpers, and knocking down threes with ease when the moment calls for it. A shot creator can get a bucket in almost any situation. Using crafty dribbling, sharp footwork, and a full menu of moves like step-backs, pull-ups, floaters, and fadeaways, they shine when the defense has shut down all other options, creating space and hitting tough shots against tight coverage. The best shot creators also know when to pass if defenders swarm them. Pick and pop big. Kristaps Porzingis can lure shot blockers away from the paint, opening lanes for teammates while still being a scoring threat himself. That's the pick and pop big's specialty. After giving a ball handler a solid screen, they step back or slide to the side, ready to knock down a mid-range shot or a three-pointer before the defense can recover. The role demands precise timing, good shooting mechanics, and smart positioning so they don't block driving lanes. Off-ball scorer, Rip Hamilton wore down opponents by never standing still, scoring efficiently just by outworking and outsmarting his defender. Those players don't need the ball in their hands for long to make an impact. Their constant movement does the damage. Off-ball scorers dart through screens, cut into open space, and appear right where the defense least expects them. They punish defenders who lose focus, whether it's with a quick corner three or a sneaky backdoor layup. Rebounding expert, Andre Drummond, whose career has been defined by consistently ranking among the league leaders in rebounds, embodies the rebounding expert archetype. This type of player thrives on positioning, timing, and a relentless motor to secure missed shots before anyone else can. They study how different shots bounce, anticipate where the ball will land, and use box-out techniques to keep opponents away from prime rebounding spots. On the offensive end, their hustle often creates valuable second-chance points through putbacks or kick-out passes to open shooters. Defensively, every rebound they secure shuts down the opponent's possession and can spark a fast break. While their offensive skill set might be limited outside of the paint, their presence on the glass dictates the game's pace and can frustrate even the most skilled scorers. Sixth man. Lou Williams perfectly illustrates the sixth man archetype, the ultimate spark plug who may not start, but can completely change the game's momentum. A sixth man is the spark plug of a team, the player who may not start the game, but often finishes it. Their role is to step onto the court and instantly inject scoring, defensive energy, or playmaking into the lineup. Unlike starters who can ease into a game, sixth men must adapt to the pace immediately, often facing the opponent's top players while coming straight from the bench. They are usually asked to lead the second unit, ensuring the team maintains or even improves its performance when starters rest. Some thrive as scoring threats who can deliver quick points, while others shift the game's momentum with hustle plays, defensive stops, or creative passing. Though they may not hear their name during the opening introductions, their impact throughout a season is undeniable, and often the difference between good teams and great ones. Two-way big. Anthony Davis' ability to dominate both ends of the court makes him one of the most complete and feared big men in the NBA today. So, he perfectly represents the two-way big archetype, a rare blend of offensive skill and defensive dominance. A two-way big is the kind of player every coach dreams of. Someone who can anchor the defense while still being a reliable scoring option. On offense, they're versatile, comfortable backing down opponents in the post, finishing lobs from pick and rolls, or stepping out to hit mid-range jumpers, and even open threes. On defense, they're the last line of protection, blocking or altering shots, boxing out with force, and cleaning the glass. The beauty of this archetype is balance. They don't sacrifice defense to score, nor do they disappear on offense while focusing solely on stopping opponents. To excel, they need the endurance to run the floor in transition, defend multiple actions like switches and hedges, and still produce efficient points. They often spark fast breaks not just by rebounding, but by firing precise outlet passes to sprinting teammates. Ball handling wing. Kyrie Irving embodies the ball handling wing mold, a perimeter player with the skills to run the offense and break down defenses from virtually anywhere. These players can take over point guard duties when needed, bringing the ball up, calling plays, and using the pick and roll to create opportunities for themselves or teammates. Their blend of size and skill forces defenses into tough matchups. Put a smaller, quicker defender on them and risk getting overpowered, or a bigger defender and risk getting blown by. Excelling in this role requires a tight, reliable handle, sharp court vision to spot open cutters or shooters, and the poise to exploit defensive rotations. They can post up smaller opponents, attack slower bigs, and seamlessly switch onto multiple positions on defense. With a ball-handling wing on the floor, the offense gains another creator who can initiate plays, keep defenders guessing, and maintain offensive flow under pressure. Interior defender. Brook Lopez, whose rim protection, shot-altering ability, and disciplined paint defense have been key in making the Milwaukee Bucks one of the NBA's toughest defensive teams. This is the interior defender. They are the backbone of a team's paint protection, specializing in shutting down scoring opportunities near the rim. They make their presence felt through shot blocking, altering attempts without fouling, and using smart positioning to discourage drives before they even happen. Strength helps them hold their ground against bruising post players, while timing and anticipation allow them to swat shots or force awkward releases. Their defensive impact often changes the opponent's entire offensive approach, pushing them toward less efficient perimeter attempts. On offense, interior defenders typically take on a simple but important role: setting solid screens, catching lobs, finishing putbacks, and creating extra possessions through offensive rebounds. While they may not dominate the highlight reels with flashy scoring, their ability to anchor the defense is often the difference between a good team and a great one. Clutch scorer. Jimmy Butler embodies the clutch scorer, the player you trust most when the game is on the line. These are the athletes who embrace high-pressure moments, combining confidence, elite shot-making, and the mental toughness to rise above the chaos. They can create space with a sharp crossover, pull up for a dagger mid-range jumper, or sink a heavily contested three when everyone in the building knows they're taking the shot. Late in the game, they dictate the tempo, often working in isolation or off a pick and roll to ensure the ball stays in their hands. While they might not top the scoring charts every night, their impact in the final minutes can define entire seasons. Just as crucial is their decision-making, knowing when to take the shot themselves and when to bait the defense before dishing to an open teammate for the win. So after all that, I've come to understand that my true archetype is the fan who yells at the TV like they're on the roster. What's yours? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more sports videos.